Good morning. Hey, it's Herschel Bentley here with Prosperity Network for Credit Pros, which is you guys. So, hey, happy Monday. Quick moment in time. I've lost count of how many people are running into this little bit of conundrum. And I wanted to kind of highlight it because it's very probable it could be you. But y'all have seen the old 60, 30 chart, right? Where you should be spending 60% of your time on marketing, 30% on sales, and 10% on the other crap. The other stuff you got to do, the disputing, the answering of the phones, the billing, the collections, everything else. The problem is that a lot of people have this inverted. And at the end of the day, you're spending 60%, 30%, 10% on marketing and sales, or developing your systems, and the rest of it is all about disputing and collections and dealing with crap. Constantly reacting to anything but profit. Once you got the deal in, guys, the money's gone. It's just about putting it into a system, creating a system that's going to bring the money in. But the magic is getting the deals in. And that's where a lot of you seem to kind of have this a little bit backwards, because developing a massive business is all about the marketing, the sales, and the systems that you implement. So it's about how do you start to change this? A lot of you are just independent operators, and you've got a nice little book of business. You know, you're getting 20, 25 deals or so a month in, but it's just you. And that kind of stuff freaks me out, because I can only imagine how busy you are working this, because you're very good at this. You've got some very strong referral sources, obviously, to get those 20, 25 in, but your day is all about this, dealing with crap. And there's a lot of frustration. I mean, I'm hearing it. You guys are telling me, you know, you're living a nightmare. You've created your own little conundrum, this business that, yes, it brings in money, but you got no life. You've got nothing else. You're just dealing with stuff. There's a couple things. The first thing is, and you got to kind of step out on an act of faith if you've never done this. The first thing is you start to need to look at this, and you need to start to develop an idea of the things that are least, that you should under no circumstances be doing yourself. Answering the phone, number one. Number two, when the question says, what's my login information? You never should take that call. I don't care. Under no circumstances should you be taking that call. Your value, that's not where your value is. Your value is in creating more business. Those kind of silly questions are not you. Even down to the collections, down to the billing, down to everything, okay? But it takes a little bit of time to get there. But start out with an assistant. Hire an assistant. $10 an hour. Even if if you're not confident enough that it could be a full-time 40-hour-a-week, job, start out at 20 hours, a part-time assistant. Depending upon where you're at, it could be 8, 10, 12 bucks an hour. I don't know what the number is. A lot of those can be started out at a relatively inexpensive number until they prove themselves, and you're able to start to add more tasks to what they do on a day-to-day basis, and increase their pay from there. But for a couple $100 a week, you're going to start to change this chart out a little bit to where now maybe 20% of your time is spent developing more business, getting more business in, and you slowly start to eliminate the crap. It's a step, but you need to start. You need to just take that first act of faith to go ahead and get that assistant. The second thing that you need to start to really scratch your head off that will take a big chunk of this is the disputing. A lot of you probably, I know that when you came into this business, you really thought the magic was in the dispute. And you've heard me say it now more than once, that there's no value in that. It really is about creating a system that gives good value. But you don't have to be the best disputer in the world to have a big business. Think about McDonald's, okay? Mickey D's. Do they have the best burger in the world? No. Their burgers actually suck. There's a lot of places to get better burgers, but they have an incredible marketing system, and they have their whole operating systems are down to a T to deliver value, the same product, time after time after time, and people love it based on that price point. So it's something that you don't have to have. For a huge business, you have to deliver good value. You don't have to be the best disputer of all time. I've heard a lot of you use the word boutique business. I have a little boutique. Well, okay, that's cool if that's what you want to do, but boutique is not a McDonald's-sized business. Boutique has nothing to do with big. Boutique is small, and it's kind of like hold their hands. Well, you can hold their hands through the whole process, but it's not going to allow you the time and let you do the things you want to do if you're having to be involved in every little step of the game. So these are some of the decisions you need to make. But as you start to delegate this out, and it could be going with Mike's, with dispute suites processing, or having them do the disputes. You may want to talk, with us about being a director as far as getting, even more this thing's covered for you. So, but there are different alternatives out there, and I suggest that you examine them, because this is a big part of what your daily frustration is. So keep this in mind. Start to make a little step. Work on an assistant. Start to think about how you can start to alleviate yourself of these big patterns of work that you should be getting into a little tiny percent here, and everything else have people do, have it done for you by your people, have it, farmed out, whatever it takes. These are the things you need to get off your desk to give you a little bit of life, so you can enjoy the big business that you certainly can build. So that's the scoop. That's the thought for today. And your challenge this week is, what are you going to do this week to start to move towards just taking a little bit of this chunk away? That's your challenge. Tonight, or this afternoon, what is this? This Monday morning. I don't know when you're going to get this, but at 2 o'clock this afternoon, be watching for the tech call. The guys are going to be on, so make sure you pop on that webinar. It's going to be very cool. As always, they're going to give you some great value on that. As well, on November 15th, if you haven't registered, you want to register for the PNCP Jumpstart. It's going to be right here in Tampa. So get registered for that, and we're going to delve into more on this at a much deeper level when you guys come in. It's an all-day event, man. It's really cool. I think the guys that were here last time really appreciated some of the things they learned. But get registered, and we'll crank some good stuff. You have a great week. I'll talk to you next week.